Greetings once again, because of course I make videos every other time. As soon as something pops up, something that needs to be addressed, I'm gonna turn off my camera. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm gonna talk about it, because guys, you have absolutely no idea what we are up against. We are up against heartless gurus. I mean every word I'm saying. Heartless gurus, because that do not care if you lose money trying to build your business. A good guru is very, very compassionate, very, very aware that money is difficult to come by, and it's such a disservice to trick somebody into an area where you know that things are not really happening as rosy as you are trying to paint it, all because you want to take money from a potential client. But a bad guru doesn't think like this. A bad guru thinks, yes, it's probably a game. Doesn't matter what you say. You can just come up here, put on your camera, talk a game that doesn't exist. As long as at the end of the day you are smiling to the bank, that's all that matters. And that's exactly the people that I refer to as wicked gurus. They're going to stop at nothing but just to sell you a pipe dream, making you believe that yes, a business is something that you can that you can just sit down, move your mouse here and there and just make it happen. Guys, that's gonna be farther from the truth. See, you have to be I don't know how to say that. You have to beware. You have to be wary of bad, wicked gurus. I'm watching a video here on YouTube right now as I'm driving to the warehouse, and I see somebody talking a game. You see, how do you identify a bad or a wicked guru? A wicked guru is somebody that knows the in and out of that business they're trying to sell you. All right, because they did it before. They did it for years, sometimes 3, 4 years, 5 years. They did everything. They were at the highest point of the business. They also saw the lowest point. And now they've given up doing that business because they realized there was a bottleneck somewhere. Because they realized this bottleneck, they do not want to do this business anymore. And then, because we are now living in the day and age where people are so gaslighted or gaslighted to just make money online, the guru now says, okay, wait a minute. As long as I know everything about this business, I could just talk about it, even though I'm not doing it. But I could still go ahead and talk about it, touch on every area of the business, just to sell this idea to somebody else. You are not going to do that business as the guru. You do not buy and sell. You are not in the trenches, fighting with customers, dealing with customer returns and all that stuff. You are absolutely cut off from those stuff, but you are actively talking about how it works. It could be in the reselling space. It could be in the make money online space. It could be in the service business space, trucking, Amazon, Flex, wherever it is. For every sector, everywhere you can think of making money online, there's going to be a wicked guru there. That guru that already has seen it all, has gone through the business model himself or herself. Because truth be said, not just guys are wicked gurus. There are also women wicked gurus. They've done the business, and then they've seen that, look, there is a bottleneck here. Talk about reselling of desktop PCs, laptops. The bottleneck is going to be that at the end of the day, in fact, there are a lot of bottlenecks. You're not going to be able to find these hardwares on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to hit that ceiling, except you are a very major, like a giant recycler that has a very good contract with big time corporations like banks. These are the kind of people that get, even then, they do not get these hardwares on a weekly basis. This is what it is. They do not get, sometimes they get it on a yearly basis. There's a big delivery. And then the big people, they are licensed recyclers. They have the license to operate that business. And they are not really into selling 1 or 2 pieces of laptops to you. Their main, business is maybe data deletion. They delete data for giant corporations. And in doing that, sometimes they have access to some of these hardwares. And then they want to pass it on to the resellers like you and I. But finish, some people masquerade here, to try to sell you a pipe dream that you can have access to these hardwares on a given, on a weekly basis. That's a big lie, and unfortunately, people are going to be buying to that, stuff, that story. They're going to be buying to it, passing money across with a hope of getting the game, knowing how to buy these things in bulk. That's one of the first part of the bottleneck. Second part of the bottleneck is this: you are possibly going to be selling your stuff on eBay, and on eBay, there's just a limit to how many things you can sell, except you are selling your goods at rock bottom prices. All right, this is not a books. Due apology to those that sell books. This is not clothing as well. Due apology to those that sell clothing. I'm not in any way undermining that category. I'm just saying that the demand for books or clothing or kitchen utensils is way higher than the demand, for laptops on a daily basis. All right. Of course, if you pull off a laptop transaction, you're going to get more profit. But the thing is, somebody might sell 5 t-shirts before you sell 1 laptop. This is just what it is. It doesn't sell like 20 pieces of laptops a day. Yes, some people are able to pull this off. If you are bringing, stuff to the market at a price that the market has never ever seen, yes, it's just going to sell. I've done it before. But the thing is, if you now try to sell this dream to somebody else, the person is going to give you money, and you're going to tell the person the basic information that you also cut off of you doing the business. You're going to sell that information to that person, and that person is going to take the information and try to recreate what you have just said, and suddenly or sooner or later find out that something is not working. And once again, the wicked guru doesn't care. All right, but the good guru is going to tell you. I'm not a guru. I don't even want to sit here and tell you I'm a guru. But the thing is, I sell used computers on eBay, and if you Google up my name and my shop, you are going to find me there selling computers to customers that exist, not some fictional characters on the internet, or customers. People buy from me, they return my stuff, and I show you videos of how these things have sold. And you go to the eBay sold listings, you can actually track these sales and see that these transactions are for real. All right, so I'm just going to tell you here, see, if you want to do this business, there's not going to be a shortcut to it. You have to do the dirty job. Many years ago, I did do this dirty job, going from house to house, trying to look for where to buy stuff. Some week I find it's obvious. Some weeks I find stuff. Some other weeks I don't find anything. And sometimes I even buy these things and bring them to eBay. The whole thing I bought was a mess because they do not work, people don't want it. But over a very long period of time, I was able to identify some items that kind of sell. I'm telling you, not all the Dell Latitudes are in high demand. And even the ones that are in high demand, they are very, very difficult to get. But the thing I can assure you is that, look, if you are in the trenches, putting in the work that you have to put in, working hard, trying to see how you can make things happen, talking to people, the universe sees your effort, sees how determined you are to succeed. You are ultimately going to find success. You're going to find somebody who's going to help you at some point. It happens over and over and again. You're going to find somebody that's going to say, look, an opportunity is going to find you just because you are in the trenches day and night waiting for that opportunity. Yes, opportunity comes every month in a given year, and a lot of people are not available to take advantage of these opportunities when they come. Not because they do not want, but because of the challenges of life. Some people have to go to regular jobs, while some people have to be on the street like I'm driving now, waiting for any potential opportunity. You cannot have it all. Sometimes you might be very lucky. There are also lucky people like this. I also count myself to be very, very lucky to be able to have this opportunity, possibly have a job, have a family, have all these basic combinations, a wife that works. I'm telling you, there's a lot of, technicalities involved. But the thing is, before you give somebody money to put you on game in this business, please think again. Most times, the information that you're looking for is something that you can actually Google, something you can get from ChatGPT. But the thing you cannot get from ChatGPT is the experience, the processes that you have to go through, the mistakes that you have to make, the failures, and stuff like that. But if you are determined that you are able to go through all this pain, the failures, the crisis points, and stuff like that, you are ultimately going to succeed with or without a guru. I hope this video helps you put things in a bit of perspective. Until I see you again in the next video, peace out.